Abuja judge returns Wike's case file, refuses to vacate order against protesters. Can you imagine? So what is that? What case file is this? We need to understand what this case file is about. Refuses to vacate order against protesters. Is there an order against the protesters that Wike is trying to push the court to vacate, or what? We need to understand. A federal Capital Territory High Court, Maitama, has refused to vacate an order restricting End Bad Governance Nigerian protesters in the Federal Capital Territory to the National Stadium, Abuja. So the presiding judge, Silvanus Origi, rather opted to return the case file to the Chief Judge of the High Court for reassignment to regular court for adjudication. The suit marked FCT High Court CV 3472-2024 was instituted by the FCT Minister Nyesom against organizers of the End Bad Governance protest led by Omoyele Sowore and others. So listed as defendants, apart from Sowore, are Damilare Adenola, Adama Okpabe, and Tosin Hashoba, while the other defendants are unknown. The Inspector General of Police, FCT Commissioner of Police, Director General of the State Security Services, DSS, Commandant General of Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Navy Staff, were listed as first to 12 respondents. So the FCT minister had sought an order from the court to confine the protesters to the National Stadium, saying it was to prevent a breakdown of law and order as well as the destruction of lives and properties in the nation's capital during the protest. Can you imagine? E-minded man. So this Abuja judge said, no, I can't handle this case. Took it back for them to reassign to someone else. So at Wednesday's proceedings, Justice Silvanus Orji demanded explanations from counsel to the FCT minister, George Ibrahim, whether there was still a need to proceed with the suit as the August 1st to 10th duration of the protest had elapsed. Ibrahim, in his explanation, told the court that the protesters had, in a letter written to the FCT minister, asserted that the protest might still go beyond August 10th, adding that Sowore and the other defendants had also hinted at fresh protest. So the lawyer therefore said that it would be in the interest of peace for the July 31st order to last till hearing and determination of its motion on notice. Ibrahim informed the court that counsel to the defendant Inibe Effiong on Monday, September 2, served him 4 different voluminous processes on September 2 and requested for an adjournment to enable him to study the processes and respond appropriately. Counsel to Sowore and 3 others, Inibe Effiong, did not object to the adjournment request, but applied that the restraining order against his client be discharged since the date for the order had elapsed on August 10th. Justice Orji, after taking arguments from both parties, reminded them that the FCT High Court's vacation would terminate on September 13th, making way for the resumption of normal court sitting, and as such, he would not be able to fully determine the matter within that time. He therefore held that he would be returning the case file to the Chief Judge for reassignment to normal court. Baga. I tell you, so Wike actually filed this thing to ensure that, the protesters are restricted to National Stadium, that they shouldn't come to the Eagle Square and other places. I know that Wike was trying to protect the Eagle Square, but the issue is that these facilities were built by taxpayers' money and they should have access to it. The only problem is to ensure the security of the environment so that there won't be destruction of property. That is all. But now that he filed this case, and now the protest was supposed to be 1st to 10th of August, and that period the protest actually held and has passed, why do you still this restraint or this action to be vacated? Because it's of no effect anymore since the protest is over. But unfortunately, they are trying to argue that Oshowere and others that are Damilare and others that are organizing the protest already hinted that the protest could stay beyond 10th, and also already hinted that subsequent protests will still take place again. So they are trying to, put almost like a perpetual injunction now, so that until all cases about protest is heard, the action or the restriction should not be vacated. Can you imagine? I just tired for Wike and all their people. I'm telling you, this government is operating with impunity, and it's quite unfortunate, making life very, very unbearable for Nigeria. Now Tinubu or Tinubu's government, they are now arresting protesters. Even 20 days or 21 days after the protest, they are still cracking down on the protesters at home, and that is very bad. That is very bad. I'm telling you. And the ones that they have arrested, the next thing they're telling them now is that they have committed treason. Since when has protest become treason in a democratic setting? Even in the military, it was not even a treason. How can it be a treason in the democratic setting? Because Tinubu is trying to intimidate everybody to ensure that there's no future protest anymore. How can we do this kind of thing? How can we do this kind of thing? How can we do this kind of thing, I tell you? So this government is quite, I don't understand. I really tell you, I don't understand. Okay, they are trying to stifle the civil rights of the electorate, of the citizens, of the populace. And it's becoming dictatorial because the Tinubu government has become a government of dictatorship now. That is what it is. Because they don't want anybody to talk. If you talk against the government, they arrest you or they lock you or they find some charges upon you. How can Tinubu continue to operate like this? And this is the same person that proved that was, boasting how he led protests during military regime as a Democrat and all of that. And one of the founding fathers of Nadeku and all of that. Now look at the way he's behaving. You protested or led protests, organized protests, sponsored protests during other people's government, including Goodluck Jonathan's government. But you don't want to see the protests in your own government. And how is that feasible? How is that possible? How is that possible? It's not, and can never be possible. So I just pity the Nigeria of today, because if we have this kind of people as leaders and we have this kind of young people, youth as their supporters, then I don't know direction Nigeria is going. I have to be honest. I really have to be honest. I don't know direction Nigeria is going. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.